Hello everyone, once again welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now we are going to talk about one of the most important topics of class 12th, that is electric field intensity due to uniformly charged ring or a circular loop. And in order to discuss this article, first of all we need to consider a uniformly charged circular ring such that a charge small q is spread uniformly all around this ring of radius a and O is the center of the ring. Let us say the axis on which we have to find the value of electric field intensity passes through the center of the ring and is perpendicular to the plane of the ring. Here is a point P of observation at which we want to calculate the value of electric field intensity due to this charged ring. So let us say this point P is lying at distance x from the center of the ring. Now we are not going to talk about this whole ring at once. First of all, we need to divide this ring into infinite number of equal parts. So let us say all these parts have equal length dl. So I will consider a very small portion of this ring whose length is taken to be dl. So this small portion has a length dl. As all around the ring there is a uniform charge distribution of plus q charge like this. Therefore, in this small portion, I will just consider that a very small charge is lying and that small charge is taken to be dq. As I have taken this portion due to which the electric field intensity will affect at point P, therefore I have to mark this distance from point P and I will take this distance to be r. So the distance of this small portion is taken to be small r, right? So this r, and from the diagram it is clear that we can easily apply Pythagoras to find the distance small r, and the distance is going to be under root of a square plus x square. So applying the Pythagoras theorem, we have just calculated the distance between this length small portion dl and the point of observation P. As I have said that a charge is distributed all around the ring and the charge is of positive nature, and at point P of observation we already know that we always consider a unit positive test charge. So the charge at this point is of positive nature. The charge which is placed at this point, test charge which is placed at this point, is also of positive nature. Therefore this small charge dq will repel the charge which is placed at point P. Therefore the direction of electric field intensity will be along this line which is extended further. As this portion is a very small portion, therefore electric field intensity because of this small portion of charge will also be very small and its value will be taken as dE. Let us say here we are having an angle theta, therefore we already know this is a vertically opposite angle, therefore it will also be taken as angle theta, and hence if we will divide dE into rectangular components, we will be having dE cos theta acting in the upward direction, and now we need to find the perpendicular component to dE cos theta, and that perpendicular component is dE sin theta, which will lie along this particular direction. So this is all about the diagram, but now I have to consider one more point, that is I have to calculate the electric field intensity not just because of this small portion. I have to calculate electric field intensity due to whole ring. That is why what I am going to do, I am just going to take a diametrically opposite point to length dl, and again this small portion is taken as dl. Now if I will consider this small portion dl and I will mark this distance, this will also come out to be r, and its value will be under root of a square plus x square. And due to this small length dl, we will be having a small electric field intensity acting at a point P, and which will go along this line and will be taken along this line. So this will also be a d, DE, and here it will also make angle theta because this will also be an angle theta. If I will divide this DE into its rectangular components, I will get DE cos theta in the upward direction, but for this DE I will be having DE sin theta acting along this direction. Now we can easily see that this DE sin theta and this DE sin theta are cancelling out each other's effect. As the diagram will become messy if we will consider this portion, that is why we will just imagine this portion, and we will come to know that all the components from the ring will cancel out the components DE sin theta, because DE sin theta will always act in the opposite direction. If you will consider this portion, DE sin theta will be coming out of the paper, and if you will consider this particular portion of the length DL, and then you will find that DL will be acting in the inward direction of the paper. So DE sin theta is going to cancel out each other's effect, so all the net effect will be in the upward direction, and that effect is going to be DE cos theta. This is the one of the most important point which we need to consider before starting with the article. Now the charge is distributed uniformly all around the ring, and here the length of the ring is 2 pi a. The circumference of the ring will give us the length of the ring. How it is going to give us the length of the ring? Let us say we are having this ring. If we will cut out this small portion and will try to open it up, we will get a length. So this will be the length, and when it will be turned into a circle of radius a, its length will be equal to 2 pi a. So circumference of the ring always gives us a length of the ring. Now as the charge is uniformly distributed, so the linear charge density at this point lambda is equal to dq upon L. For the small portion we will take it as dl. From this point we can say small charge dq is equals to lambda dl. So this is one of the most important points we have discussed. This is equation number 1. Now we have to calculate the value of electric field intensity at point P. So at point P, we will be having value of electric field intensity DE is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. Charge is small charge dq upon, and distance of small charge is r square from point of observation. So this implies we have DE is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. Now from equation number 1 we can substitute the value of dq, that is lambda dl, and already we have calculated the value of r square, that is under root of a square plus x square. Therefore it is going to be under root of a square plus x square whole square, and we can have DE is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught lambda dl upon a square plus x square. So this is our equation number 2. Once these things are done, so we are almost done the article. The article is nearly finished, so we just have to put all the things together which we have just discussed right now. The net electric field intensity is because of the components DE cos theta and is acting in the outward direction. So now we have to just calculate the total electric field intensity. So we will say now the total electric field intensity is because of the components DE cos theta. Therefore total electric field intensity will be equal to DE cos theta plus DE cos theta plus DE cos theta because of all small portions DL and so on. But we have already said this thing that this length is divided into infinite number of parts. That is why we will not be able to finish it up. That is why the total electric field will be taken as integral of DE cos theta. So this is our equation number 3, because we cannot continue until we put the value of angle theta. So in order to find the value of angle theta, we will again consider this diagram. Here we are having angle theta, and if we will look in front of it we are having A as a perpendicular and OP as a base. As I need to find the value of trigonometric function cos theta, that is why I will consider the base and the hypotenuse. So we have cos theta is equal to base, that is OP, that is x, upon hypotenuse, that is r. So it is equal to x upon under root of a square plus x square. So we will use this value in equation number 3. Therefore we have E is equal to integral, substituting the value of dE from equation number 2, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught lambda dL upon a square plus x square. And substituting the value of cos theta, we have x upon under root of a square plus x square. Now taking the things out of the integral which are not the variable terms, so we have x upon 4 pi epsilon naught x square plus a square into x square plus a square raised to power 1 by 2, and lambda to be taken out of the integral because it is a linear charge density and is uniform. Therefore we are left with the integral of dl, and we know the length dl will change from 0. Either we are having no length under consideration or it will change up to total length 2 pi a. So we have electric field intensity E is equal to lambda x upon 4 pi epsilon naught, and we can just combine these two terms in the denominator because bases are same, so powers can be added up. So base is x square plus a square and power is 1 plus 1 by 2, and we know 1 plus 1 by 2 is 3 by 2. Therefore I could write it as x square plus a square raised to power 3 by 2, and integration of dl is L such that limit is changing from 0 to 2 pi a. Therefore E is equal to lambda x upon 4 pi epsilon naught x square plus a square whole raised to power 3 by 2, and substituting the limits we have 2 pi a minus 0. So substituting the limits, we have just put the value of the upper limit and the lower limit. So further calculations will tell us that electric field intensity E is equal to lambda x into 2 pi a upon 4 pi epsilon naught x square plus a square whole raised to power 3 by 2. So now 2 pi a is the length of the whole ring. As I told you earlier that if we just cut the ring from this point and try to open it up, we will just get a straight line. So lambda is equal to the value of linear charge density tells us lambda is equal to total charge q upon total length 2 pi a. So this implies total charge q is equals to lambda into 2 pi a. I have just multiplied this term over here. So if I have taken 2 pi a over here in numerator, I get 2 pi a into lambda is equals to q. So here we are already having 2 pi a into lambda, therefore it could be written as q. So this implies electric field intensity is equal to x into q. Instead of writing lambda into 2 pi a, I have just substituted lambda upon lambda into 2 pi a is equals to q. So I could write it out over here. Lambda is equals to total length, total charge upon total length 2 pi a. This implies q is equals to 2 pi a lambda. That is why we have just replaced 2 pi a lambda with the total charge q upon 4 pi epsilon naught x square plus a square whole raised to power 3 by 2. So this is the expression for the electric field intensity at point P, which lies on the line which passes through the center of the ring, and point P is at a distance r from this particular portion of the ring. Now if we have this radius A to be very small in comparison to the point P, which is lying at a distance x from the center of the ring. That is, if the radius of the ring is small in comparison to the distance of point P from the center of the ring, that means in that case, if x is very large in comparison to the a, then we have E is equal to qx upon 4 pi epsilon naught x square plus 0 square whole raised to power 3 by 2. That is, we have just ignored a over here, so we will be left with qx upon 4 pi epsilon naught x square whole raised to power 3 by 2. Cancelling out square, we have E is equal to qx upon 4 pi epsilon naught x cube, and cancelling out this we have x square. Therefore we have electric field intensity because of circular ring which is uniformly charged is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q upon x square. So this is the expression for the electric field intensity. I hope you have understood this article. In case of any doubts, you could ask me by just commenting in the comment section. I can make another video in order to clear out your doubts. Thank you for watching this video. Do not forget to like, subscribe and share my channel, and do press the bell icon in order to get the further notification of my recent uploads. Thank you very much.